Hi guys, it's Sky. So, this is a updated video on the video I did about Hadestown and the recasting of the problematic, transphobic Gino Surges and what I think of the updated choice they decided to do and the way they went with it. So, yay! It's about time! Now, ironically, there is a tiny bit of backlash to the backlash of the article. Why is there backlash to the backlash? Here we go. Because some people are going, well, there's freedom of speech attached to it of he should be able to say what he wants to say. Well, here's the thing though. I understand where you're coming from, that there's freedom of speech in the world. I do, because it's like the First Amendment. I get it. But at the same time, here's the thing. I said this in my video, that I might have said it in my video. I'm trying to remember what I exactly said. I was trying to watch my video to make sure that I referenced and preferenced certain points. But here's the thing. You're in the public eye. You openly made videos about very transphobic, homophobic things and then put them on the internet like I do on YouTube. So I'm very careful what I say. I make sure to get facts straight. I make sure if I'm doing carpool chats, if they're 2 minutes long, whatever it may be. And so with that being said, he knew that he was going to put himself out there. And then if you're doing Broadway shows, your face is going to be out there as well. So, again, it's one of those things that you're going to be the face of a show like Hadestown. So, when you get announced, you should already know that not only did you just put homophobic and transphobic things out there, that now you're getting plastered all over Hadestown posters. There's probably going to be backlash, and of course there was in less than 24 hours. And yes, I understand freedom of speech is a thing, but that doesn't protect you when you're doing very homophobic, transphobic things. I understand that what freedom of speech is. I very much do. But at the same time, it doesn't go without consequences, and it doesn't. Now, if you're doing very hateful ideology, things like that, and it's threatening the lives of somebody else, then that takes it way too far. And again, that's what he did. And it, again, doesn't come without consequences. And then with the controversy of what he did, and then Hadestown casting him and not making a safe place for his LGBT actors and women and men, etc., it became too much, and that's probably why they dropped him. And that's exactly why I'm very glad they dropped him. Now, I made that video prior, and obviously along a lot of other people who agreed. I'm very glad they dropped him. I'm very glad that the public, with all the disagreements and all not always seeing eye to eye, we came together as a community and we were like, hey, listen, this guy is very problematic. We might not always see eye to eye as a community, as a whole of people, but we all see that this is a very problematic actor. He should not be in the public eye in terms of somebody who is going to be representing a very powerful character. This is not okay, and especially being around women, LGBTQIA people and men, etc., this is not going to be a safe spot. What are you thinking, Broadway? And of course, when they made the decision to drop him, I'm really glad they decided to take the public eye serious and was just not brushing us off like, hey, we don't mean anything. Because in all honesty, if they had gone the other direction and decided not to listen to us, I almost thought they weren't going to sell tickets. And if they were, it wasn't going to be good publicity. As I said before, publicity is big, and you're already making a bad impact by showing us who you have as Hades. And if you know Hadestown, I understand, I said this in my video, I understand he has that Hades voice, and I do not agree just because he has that Hades voice that he would have made a good Hades. His voice might sound like a good Hades character, but him as a person doesn't cover the fact that it's a good choice as a person. It just makes a good character. But him as a character, as a person, doesn't cover up that fact, if that makes sense. So his character as a human being doesn't cover up the fact that it's going to be a good character as a fictional character. So, but if you heard him talk in his controversial videos, he does have that very deep Hades voice, which, just like the original Hades, it worked, but it wasn't going to work because of all the controversial homophobic, transphobic things he said, and very hateful ideology. So I'm very glad they decided to do what they did. I'm very happy, and a lot of people are very happy. So, by the way, if I don't look that happy, it's because where I'm parked, the sun is hitting me in the face, and I'm gonna put this down because it's really hitting me in the face very hard, and it's very hot. I actually have my AC going. I was originally not going to, but yeah, it's very hot right now. I was gonna do this video without the car on, and then I immediately thought I'm going to roast like a turkey if I decide to turn the car off for like 10 minutes to do this video. It's not going to end well, so yeah. But the other good thing is now we get to wait for another Hades to be announced, and we have till September 1st to find that out. So we have almost a whole month to find out who they're gonna cast as the new Hades. I have a few guesses who we might get, just because, you know, there's a couple people I have in mind, but obviously, you know, there could be a couple people, but I'm hoping, I doubt they're gonna do it, but the original Hades would be nice. I'm very bad with names, but the original Hades was also Satan in Hell of a Boss, which would be so fucking awesome. Again, I'm terrible at names, but I'm really good with voices once I hear them. And when I saw the original, like the Hades Pro shot, I was like, wait, why does that sound super familiar? And then he said one word, I'm like, Satan! And I'm like, yes! So I was very happy. But that would be very cool to have him back. But we'll see. Norbert Butz still I'm very excited about, because he was the original Fiyero on Broadway in Wicked, so that was very cool to find out. Him as Hermes is gonna be just Hermes vibes alone. That will be very interesting to see him as Hermes and doing all the Hermes lines. So like, I'm so excited. So that's what I was more excited about, because I didn't really know anybody else in the cast until the controversy came out. So, but again, this is a great day for Broadway when they decide to make a choice of getting a problematic actor out of a situation that is causing problems. So good job, Broadway. It's a win. So